I'm a psychologist, and today I'm going to be explaining the psychology of why the Backrooms is so terrifying. I am referring to Kane Pixels' web series on YouTube that is now going to be made into a feature film by A24. I just got done watching the trailer, and it actually looks quite terrifying, and I wanted to analyze why it is the case. And there's actually some pretty clear psychological explanations for why this film is so terrifying. So let's begin, shall we? One of the first reasons why the Backrooms is so terrifying is because it deprives people of one of the most basic things that we have grown up with, which is other people. So in these two images here, basically we have a mall of people in, like, all of human society. We're basically around other people. So when you're in the back rooms, you're basically by yourself. You're literally alone. This in and of itself creates fear and anxiety, because what if something happens to you? What if you trip over a fall? Who's going to come and rescue you? So the sheer fact that you are alone in there, for the most part by yourself, without any other people around, in and of itself is terrifying for humans, because we're a group species, right? So this is the first mechanism. The next one, in the back rooms, there's literally nowhere to hide. I think I haven't looked at all of the video footage and all that, but it seems like you're just trapped in endless corridors with nowhere to hide. And also you cannot really see around corners because you're kind of trapped in these rooms, these walls. So this violates, once again, human nature of, we're so used to being able to have open sight lines and being able to hide from things if we can see them coming. In the back rooms, you have to peek around a corner to see around the corner, which means you can't get an edge on any threats or enemies that are nearby. And you're basically just trapped there. So you can't see, can't hide, panic. Next one. The lighting in the back rooms is basically stuck at about 75% fluorescent lighting. So humans, we've naturally evolved to see either bright daylight or nighttime, and to see that kind of cycle. The lighting in the back rooms is just this fluorescent flicker of orange that creates a very mute, very sort of flat, no nature, no color presentation, which once again violates human nature of survival and sort of safety signals, because people generally see greenery, we see trees in the sky and blue and amber at night when the sun's going down, but you're trapped in this state of orange, or fluorescent orange, when you're in the back rooms, which triggers human fear. Another thing that seems to come up a little bit is that some people describe being in the back rooms as a sense of derealization or depersonalization, which is actually a psychological disorder. You can actually be diagnosed with this, which is, it effectively is, the person has a sense that they don't feel real, or the world around them doesn't feel real, or they don't feel like they're a part of themselves. Everything just feels flat or dreamlike. And the back rooms most certainly triggers this feeling. You kind of feel like you're stuck in a state of perpetual nothingness in a way that you can't hide from. And this actually triggers, can not saying that the movie would trigger this in people, but it kind of resembles what people would describe derealization or depersonalization as. But obviously, I'm not saying that the film actually would trigger that for people. So that's key. But it gives us just this dreamlike sense of unreality, which in and of itself creates a sense of horror and panic, because you can't get out. It seems like you can't get out. You don't know where you are. It's an unfamiliar space that you're basically just trapped in this infinity zone. Another element that's really key is that a lot of the web series is shot in found footage VHS style, and sometimes what can happen is the brain will do is, if it can't make something out, if it can't figure out what the thing is that you're looking at, especially shadows in the dark, it'll just default to horror. It'll default to, all right, I can't figure that out. what the heck is that? And the found footage style doesn't help in a way because it kind of distorts your vision and makes it hard to identify objects clearly. So a shadow or a door frame, as evidenced here, might look like something else in a way, because your brain's like, what is that? What is going on there? The next mechanism also relates back to the VHS style. So a lot of people have grown up seeing VHS style videos as training videos or safe emergency broadcasts. So to have a VHS style video violate that by being in a horror fashion sort of contradicts what people are probably kind of used to in a sense. Having said that, you could argue that the Blair Witch Project probably contradicts that at a general population level, and perhaps this mechanism might not necessarily be generalizable to everybody, because some people probably are used to the VHS, associating VHS with horror through the Blair Witch Project. But I would imagine a lot of people associate VHS with like a 1990s wedding video or something. So then to see it in the format of horror is a little bit like, what? This is supposed to be safe. Why is this causing fear? This is just talks a little bit about COVID, and people can pause the video if they want to read this slide. It talks about how a lot of the Backrooms seems to really kicked off around COVID times. So it was quite good timing for the creator. Another element that's really critical to making why the Backrooms is so freaking scary is because it seems like there is nothing that you can do that makes a difference. You're in these walls, these yellow walls, these sort of tiny corridors, and you run, you hide, which you can't really hide anyway, I guess. You call for help, try and escape. Nothing. Doesn't really matter. You're right. Where are you supposed to run? What are you fighting? Where's the exit? You're literally trapped in a perpetual state of nothingness, and this is horrifying for humans. To be helpless is horrible. If you can't do anything, you feel like you just want to die, basically. So this is kind of why the Backrooms is so freaking scary. It literally combines a bunch of fear systems all at once. There's no sight lines, no cover, fluorescent stress, the VHS bias, fear of the unknown, total helplessness, and even mirrors a bit of derealization, depersonalization for some people. And there's this empty spaces with no other humans around, and it kind of triggers all these fear systems all at once. So in many ways, the space is the monster. There's no monster. Although maybe there is. I actually haven't seen all the Backrooms. Maybe people in the comments section can correct me. Is there a monster in the Backrooms? I can't remember, to be honest. But really the key is that the space is the monster. It triggers a lot of human survival instincts all at once, and especially the idea of it being infinite, inescapable. It's semi-familiar, yet it feels wrong because it's they're hallways. Everybody knows what a hallway is, and that's where I talk about the uncanny valley, where it feels just slightly off. It's like, oh yeah, that's a corridor, but why is it infinite, and why is the chair halfway in the ceiling? And it just creates that sense of offness about it, combined with everything else, to trigger a lot of human survival instincts all at once. Anyway, that's the end of this video. I'm a psychologist from Australia. Thank you for watching. If you subscribe for more, thank you for watching and subscribe for more. Bye-bye.